Hello and welcome to this yoga video today. We're going to look at opening up through the shoulders, so that also involves opening through the chest and the pectorals, but looking at it from a stance of how we can find more opening in downward facing dog. So we'll go through a few kind of drills and a few movements in which to help you find this opening and this space coming into the shoulder girdle. Okay, so we're actually going to start off lying down in Shavasana. So just find yourself in a comfortable position. You can either keep the knees bent or lengthen the legs out long. And take a moment to just get yourself comfortable through the tailbone, lift up the shoulder blades and slide them down the back. Whatever movements you need to take in order to feel that grounding through the back of the body. And then with that support, with that points of contact against the earth, just allow yourself to breathe and to carry the breath down through the body. So as you begin to extend the breathing slightly, just allow the thoughts to no longer be the most prominent part of yourself at this moment in time. So you can just begin to gradually extend the breath with your inhalation. And then on the exhale, drawing the navel back towards the spine and allowing the capacity to empty out. And then inhaling, breathing into the stomach, but also into the back body and lifting the breath up into the rib cage. And then exhale, drawing the rib cage back and the stomach. Inhale, breathing into the stomach, the rib cage, and then up to the chest, so the place in between the shoulder blades. And try and open up the collarbones. Exhale, chest, rib cage, and stomach. And just continue to concentrate on that three-part breath. And also allowing the awareness to stay in the back of the body at the same time with the breathing. So always remembering that the breath is going to anchor you to any yoga practice, to any movement-based practice where you want to focus the awareness and the attention. And allow the body to communicate with you throughout the practice today. Just continuing to breathe extendedly and then finding a breath that's going to carry you throughout the practice. So something that feels sustainable, something that doesn't feel like too much conscious effort, but is a lot more prominent than your everyday breath. Once you feel that breath completely flowing through you fairly naturally, just bringing the awareness back to the points of the body, the air on the skin, the sounds or movements that might be in the space around you. Allow that sense of space to be encapsulated in the body at this moment, and then create a full body stretch by extending the arms up over the head, pointing through the feet, drawing the legs together and pressing the fingertips away and the feet to the opposite direction, lengthening through the whole of the body. And then bending the knees and drawing the shins into the chest. Just take a moment to either rock from side to side or create that circular motion around your sacrum, doing a small massage into the low back. And just sort of also feel into the shoulder blades at this point as well. Then draw the forehead in towards the knees, so you're really rounding and concaving in between the shoulder blades, creating a small ball with yourself. You might continue rocking as well. And then placing the head back down. Extend the legs all the way up to the sky and flex out through the feet. So really feel the four corners pressing to the sky or the ceiling. And then press the hands up as well and also flex through the wrists. And be really aware of what's happening with your shoulder blades as you flex through the wrists and you press them towards the sky. And then take the hands to bring the palms towards one another and point out through the fingers. Notice what happens with the shoulder blades. Take a moment to lift the right arm up, drawing up through the shoulder blade, place it back down, and then lift up through the left arm as well as the shoulder blade and draw it back down. And really notice that alignment, what's happening in the shoulder blades. So now we're going to draw the right arm back and draw the left arm leg forward and hover. Exhale, drawing them back up. Inhale, take the left arm down to hover and the right leg to hover. Exhale, bringing up. So continue that movement to switch. Exhale, bringing all the way back up. Inhale to switch. Exhaling back up. And then just drawing the shoulder blades back down, keep the hands up, interlace the hands now and take them to place behind the head with the thumbs down onto either side of the nape of the neck. Try and keep that space between the ears and the tops of the shoulders. And then inhale, curl up through the forehead, lift up through the upper body and exhale, draw down. Inhale to draw up. Try and keep the elbows pressing back so there's some resistance here, strength building. And then exhale, drawing your right leg down to hover and twist to the left. Exhale, bringing back up and slowly lower down. Deep breath in, drawing up, this time taking your left leg down to hover and twist to the right. Exhale, come back to the center, drawing back with the leg and slowly lower down. So we'll take a couple more on each side. Inhale to lift, draw the right leg to hover, twist to the left. Exhale back to the center of the leg and the torso lower down. Inhale to lift, lower the left leg and twist. Try and draw the elbow towards the outer edge of the knee. Exhale, bring everything back to the center and lower down. Inhale to lift and curl. Exhale, twisting, draw everything back up and lower down. Inhale to lift, left leg to lower and hover, twist to the right and draw everything back with the exhale, lower down. Take a moment to hug the knees into the chest and rock from side to side, gently massaging out through the lower back, allowing some space to come into the spine. And then take the hands back behind the head. And we're going to shift the hips over to the left and then bring the legs together. You want a 90-degree angle through the knees and also flex out through the feet. The tailbone is going to be in line with the back of the head. So your knees are coming forwards in front of the hips. Keep the hands behind the head and then draw the elbows towards one another on that side of your body. So you're going to inhale to lift that left arm up and rotate back, and then exhale, draw the elbows together in front of the head. Inhale, opening up, curling, and exhaling to round and drawing down. Inhale, opening up, exhaling down. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, down. Inhale, open up and twist. And exhale, down. So this time we're going to open up and then extend the arm all the way up to the sky. Draw that arm back. So here it's important to not kind of allow the weight just to flop down, but you might want to take a support underneath the arm if it feels like a really huge opening in that shoulder or perhaps in the pectoral, or you might want to hover that arm and try and build some strength here by holding the arm up. Just allow for the opening to gradually come in. Take another deep breath in. Long exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the fingertips all the way back up and bring the arm down in front. And then we're going to come over to switch to the other side. So exactly the same movement on the other side of the body. Really brilliant for the thoracic spine. So once again, just making sure that the knees at a 90-degree angle, the knees are exactly in front of the hips, and then you're flexing out through the feet with the legs together. So this time we're going to open up the right arm towards the sky. So remembering the hands are loosely interlaced by the back of the head. Curling round and allowing the opening to be gradual. So maybe the movement becomes bigger each time. So exhale, bring the elbows together. Inhale to open up and back. Exhale, draw the elbows together. Inhale to open up and back. Exhale, bring the elbows together, round through the spine. Exhale, up and back. Bringing the elbows together, inhale, open. And exhale, bring the elbows together. And this time we're going to create that extension. So drawing up and back, extend through the arm. Keep the arm facing up towards the sky. So you're really allowing that front of the chest, the pectoral, to open, as well as creating that opening into the thoracic spine and the cervical spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale, complete the breath. Deep breath in. And exhale. And just notice any sensations. Gradually start to draw the arm all the way back and over. And now we're going to make our way up into tabletop positioning. So just make sure that your hands are spread with the fingertips nice and wide. We want the hands directly under your shoulders and lengthen out through the spine. So it's a reasonably active movement, and we're pressing into the tops of the feet with the knees underneath your hips. So you just take a moment to lengthen through the spine, make sure the back of the neck is long, and then take some cat and cows here, but really focus on the space between the shoulder blades. So on your inhale, can you create that concave in between the shoulder blades? And on the exhale, can you round completely and separate the shoulder blades? So you keep going through the motion of concaving and convexing. And now we're going to tuck the toes. So on your inhale, create that arch in the spine. Exhale to round and draw the hips back towards the heels to really exaggerate through that rounding. Inhale to arch, look forward. Exhale to round, draw back and round in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, drawing forward. And exhaling down. Keep the toes tucked if you can. Inhale forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward and arching. Exhale, round, separate through the shoulder blades. And once again, inhale to arch. Exhale to round and draw back. Inhale, come back to the center, untuck the toes. Walk the hands forward about 3 steps. Keep the knees directly under the hips. Lower through the chest, the heart space to the ground. Keep the elbows lifted. So you're trying to draw the inner parts of the elbows towards one another. And there's that sense of the hips lifting back, even though they're staying directly over the knees. Keep the feet hip distance and actively pressing into the ground. And then look forward. We're going to bring the right hand to the center of the mat and then thread the left hand underneath. Press into the top of the left hand. Find that twist and opening here. So thread the needle. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Keep the hips square as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in and come back to the center, tone through the stomach, and now switch to the other side. Left hand is directly over the crown, right hand threading underneath. Press the top of the right hand down to find that rounding action. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly make your way back. And then come to lower into Uttanasana for a couple of breaths, just to reset, re-lengthen into the sides of the body after the twist. And then bring the hands closer towards the body. Keep the toes tucked. And we're going to extend the arms forward as you sit onto the heels. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, draw the shoulder blades together and slide them down. So being very sort of cautious here that the ribs are drawing in and down rather than protruding out, which can be the tendency. Slowly lower the stomach down to the thighs, bring the forehead to the ground, and then roll onto the crown of the head for rabbit pose. Allow the hands to come back, but don't force them to come back. So we still want that strength of the shoulder blades drawing down, but also together. Deep breath in, long breath out. Try not to put too much weight into the crown of the head and maybe have some padding underneath. And then slowly untuck the toes, roll all the way back and settle into a child's pose for a few breaths. Allow the energy to settle. Maybe roll the forehead from side to side. Long, deep and smooth breaths. Re-extend the arms so you're in an active version of child's pose. Spread the fingertips really wide. Try and create that L shape between the index finger and thumb. Bring the weight forward and make your way into downward facing dog. So just notice how downward facing dog feels at this very moment. So your first one of the practice. Can you draw the shoulder blades towards the hips so you can create more space between the earlobes and the shoulders? And just allow the head and neck to roll from side to side to check that the head and neck are loose. And then come right up onto your tiptoes, really slowly articulate into a plank pose. So nice long line from the crown of the head all the way to your heels. And then from here, lift up, bend your knees and draw back. So you're pressing into your hands, really strong in the shoulders and the arms here. And then slowly re-straighten the legs for downward dog. We can do this a couple more times. So really articulate through the movements, come right up onto the tiptoes, slowly hinge the weight forward, moving through the vertebrae, arrive in your plank, strong through the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, keep the knees hovered as you draw the stomach back to the thighs, press actively into the hands, and slowly re-straighten the legs. So once again, inhale, come right up onto the tiptoes, slowly pitch the weight forward, find that long line through the sides of the body, strengthen the legs, bend the knees, keep the knees hovered, and draw the navel back to the thighs and straighten through the legs. So long sweeping breaths, and then come back to pitch the weight forward, and this time you can either lower through Chaturanga Dandasana or take your knees, chest and chin all the way down to the ground. So just bring your hands out to either side. You want to keep a bend in the elbows in line with the heads of the shoulders. Press into the pads of your fingers so the palms are hollowed. And then activate through the legs. So all 10 toes are pressing down. The kneecaps are lifting into the thighs. And inhale, roll yourself up by curling the chin to the chest and then allowing the head to emerge. Exhale, bring the chin all the way back down and the forehead to the ground. Inhale to roll up. Exhale, rolling back down. Inhale to curl back up. Exhale, roll down. Keep the legs active. Inhale to roll up. And this time the option is to stay where you are, or you can allow the whole palm to come down now and then begin to straighten through the arms, creating a bit more of a back bend, but we want to feel a lift through the front of the body. So there's not all this pressure in the lower back, but there's this lift from the pubic bone up through the sides of the stomach and into the chest. Shine the heart space forward. Try not to lock out through the elbows. And then slowly roll all the way back down. I'm going to come for a pectoral stretch. So if you straighten the left arm, keep the shoulder and the elbow and the wrist in line, or take cactus arm, right hand underneath the right shoulder. Roll onto that left side of the body and maybe swing that right leg back. Don't put any pressure into the lower back at the same time. So you can keep the legs together. Just notice how this feels. We want the stretch and the compression to come into the front of that shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. And long breath out. Rolling all the way back to the center. Come to switch to the other side. So this time the left hand helping to press into the mat and turn you and put the pressure on the right front of the shoulder. Option to swing the leg back or to keep the legs together. Inhale. Exhale. Allow the breath to move into the front of the chest. Exhale, come all the way back to the center and then preparing to make your way up and back into downward dog. So you can come through plank if you choose. And just noticing how the shoulder blades sit on the back here. I'm going to take a few movements by turning the elbows in and turning them out, seeing how it feels with that rotation through the heads of the shoulders. Can you find a bit more opening in either one, or maybe settling somewhere in between? What does it feel like? What happens to the shoulders as you move through those rotations? And then settling with one that feels more opening. Stay there for a couple of breaths. Taking another inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, make sure the weight is spread evenly through all the knuckles of the hand, and then bring your knees all the way down. Take the knees nice and wide and set back into child's pose. And from your child's pose, maybe take the stance a bit wider through the knees. We're going to try and draw the midline of the body over to the right. Come right up onto your fingertips and keep pulling the crown of the head forward and the tailbone back, so you're getting that lateral stretch across the back of the body. Another option here is to take the left hand over the right, so you're twisting slightly through the torso over to the left hand side. So breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Separate through the hands, make your way back to the center and then all the way over to the other side. So remembering to really bring the stomach over the thigh. Extend over to the left side, either staying up onto the fingertips or maybe taking the right hand on top of the left and twisting over to look underneath the right arm. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Long breath in and make your way all the way back to the center with an exhale. Spread the fingertips and draw them down, and then make your way up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg to the sky. Draw the weight forward, knee to the chin, and place the foot in between the hands. We're going to inhale to peel open the right arm to the sky. So you're twisting, keep the left hand under the shoulder, and then draw that arm back so you're continuing to open up into the front of the chest. So nice long breath in, and then exhale, bring the arm back up to the sky and draw the hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Inhale to open the arm up and back. Exhale, bring the hand down. Inhale to extend the fingertips forward and then draw your left fingertips forward and make your way up into a high lunge. Lift up and out through the hip points. Engage through the core muscles back and lengthen through the fingers. Inhale. Exhale, bring the palms down, placing them down, step it back into plank, pitch the weight forward, and either take your knees, chest and chin or slowly lower through chaturanga. And make your way into a back bend of your choice, so small cobra, whatever suits you today, and then retuck your toes, coming back into downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And exhale, extend the left leg to the sky. Bend through that knee, bring the knee to the nose, step the foot in between the hands. And this time keeping your right hand under the shoulder, extend the left arm up to the sky. Inhale to slide open by drawing the fingertips back. And exhale, bring the arm back and to the outer edge of the left foot. So really notice that rounding and peeling open of the shoulder blades. So opening the arm back. Exhale, bring the fingertips down and open. Inhale to draw the fingertips up and back. Exhale, bringing the fingertips forward, followed by the right. And make your way into high level lunge. Settle through the hips, lift up through the midline of the body. Exhale, bring the palms down, step back into plank. And make your way either through knees, chest, chin, or slowly lower through chaturanga. Your choice of back bend. And make your way into downward dog with control. Deep breath in. Bring your knees down into tabletop. So I'm going to go through a couple of drills for strengthening the range of movement in the shoulders and really noticing how you feel within the shoulder girdle itself. So you're going to start off by rounding through the back and drawing your shoulders up to the ears. It's almost like a hunchback, but try to keep lengthened through the lower back. Then on your exhale, keeping that rounding, slide the shoulder blades down the back. And then you're going to concave in between the shoulder blades, so the two shoulder blades kind of draw towards one another, keeping them down and then drawing them back up. Then coming to round again, so we're going to do two more like this. Round in between the shoulder blades, keeping them rounded, pull them down away from the ears. Inhale, concave and allow the shoulder blades to slide towards one another, keeping them down, and then drawing them back up towards the ears. Once again, rounding through the back, keeping them up towards the ears, sliding them down. And exhale, bringing the shoulder blades towards one another, concaving and drawing them back up towards the ears. So now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So this time, keeping the shoulder blades up towards the ears, concave, draw them down, and then round through the back and draw them back up. So twice more, concave, keeping them up, draw down, and round, draw them back up. Concave and draw them down, and round and draw them back up. Brilliant. So this really helps to strengthen. Just take a moment to sit back onto the heels, interlace the fingers, press the palms away, and then draw them up over the head. Deep breath in, draw the lower rib cage down and flatten. Inhale. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale. Bring the fingertips all the way back down. Make your way into plank pose. Lift up through your hips. Come into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. If you need to move through the shoulders here, you're welcome to do so. Take a moment to settle. Keeping the breath moving through that area and noticing any points of heat or any points of coolness in the body. So fully relax through your head and neck and notice how you press into the hands to help anchor the shoulder blades away from the ears. And then going to bend the knees and we're going to come into a dolphin pose. So dolphin pose is a more kind of extreme version of downward dog, if you like. It creates more opening in the upper body and it really gives you a sense of awareness of how we want to be in downward dog in this pose. So you want to make sure that your elbows are exactly shoulder distance apart. So slot the index finger and thumb into the crease of the elbow, and then you can come to interlace your hands here as well. So you make this tripod shape, this like solid shape here. Slowly extend through the legs and walk one step closer towards your elbows. So with this tripod of the forearms, press into your forearms to allow the shoulder blades to draw up and back to the hips. So the head and neck should be lifting away from the ground with your shoulder blades. Allow the neck, the head to move from side to side. We want to achieve this in downward dog as well. If your head is touching the ground, just remember everyone's anatomy is different. So maybe it's not always possible to have the head lifted. Just try and use the forearms to find that strength and that lift through the back of the body to the hips. Keep breathing. Come down whenever you need to, so don't feel you need to stay here for as long. Bend the knees and then set yourself back into child's pose when you're ready. Any variation, if you want to extend the arms, you can. Maybe roll through the forehead or rock from side to side on the shins. Allow the stomach to expand towards the thighs. So come right up onto your fingertips now. And then slowly, keeping the head slightly lifted, we're going to come to thread. We're going to come to thread the needle in child's pose. So if you walk the right hand to the center of the mat and then thread the left arm underneath. So allow enough space here. If the knees need to come a bit wider, that might allow you more space to twist through the torso. Press into the back of the left hand and allow the right shoulder to peel back. And just notice how the compression feels now, and then slowly come to switch to the other side when you're ready, and press into the back of the right hand, allowing the opening through the left side body. Then coming all the way up to sit. And we'll come into a half Lord of the Fishes pose, so you can keep your right leg extended if it feels uncomfortable at all, and then the left foot is going to press down on the ground, hooking to the outside of the thigh. Extend the arms all the way up to the sky, twist over to your right, bring your right hand behind the back and bend through the left elbow to hook somewhere inside the leg. Make sure that the length is the most important thing here over how far you're twisting. And try and draw the twist more into the upper parts of the body rather than jamming around the lower back area or sacrum. So a twist coming around the navel, a little bit of strength and tone through the stomach as well. And slowly come to make your way to the other side, however you would like to do that. And if it feels different on this side, you can always extend that bottom leg out. Make sure the hips don't feel really overly tight here. Extend the arms all the way up and then twist over to your left side. So this time the left hand behind the back, hooking the right arm. Deep breath in, long breath out. Inhale and exhale. Slowly make your way back to the center when you're ready. And that concludes our practice for today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you feel more freedom and space through the shoulder girdle, through the chest. Maybe you found something new in Downward Dog. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channels for more videos like this, and hope to see you in the next video.